I was going to say one more. I'm getting the racket, but now I'm getting the racket. All right. Where are you at? I will get you. Continue to fuck with me and I'll get you. It's the way it is. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, somebody's not listening. Back again for another little look. Got him. Snap, crackle, pop. Where you at? Okay. We have survived. You're being tormented at work, huh? What's your advice? Find another job and quit. Find a new job. Keep putting up with your bullshit until you've got a new job lined out, and then walk in there and give them your 2 weeks and tell them to go fuck themselves. Highlights are on point. What highlights? I don't do highlights. I don't do anything to my hair. Tim Wall's pick thought. It's a good pick. Like, I like the guy. The guy is affable, and I think he's probably gonna do well talking to like Southerners. So I think he was a smarter pick than Shapiro. A lot of people thought she was leaning Shapiro for a long time. So I think he's a good pick. Yeah, I think it's a, I kind of wish that vice presidential picks historically were more like they gave more leverage to campaigns, but historically that just doesn't play out. Like the vice presidential pick being this, that, or the other, very rarely, if ever, in history has provided any kind of, bump. That being said, though, like policy-wise, Tim Walz is pretty fucking centrist, which is to be expected from the DNC. And from what I can tell, is pretty fucking pro-Israel. So, from that perspective, I'm not going to do a cartwheel over the guy. I know. Good shit, right? Love the Stern glass. Trump 2024. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see, buddy. Best of luck with that. But yeah, I mean, he's a likable dude. He's got like good, likable vibes around him, from what I've been able to see. I think he is going to speak well to Southerners who might be, I don't know, iffy about Kamala. So that's good. Loved your talk with Ben recently, bro. That was awesome. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. So, good choice for Kamala, probably. Midwest dad energy. Yeah. I mean, serious. but like happy, like troll dad energy. That's kind of what I've gotten off of Tim Walz, and that's like the complete opposite vibe that Kamala puts forward. Like a totally opposite vibe. So it's not, no, not a bad pick, just from optics perspective and like all of that. Walz has an insane record on just a 1-seat majority in their state senate. Yeah. Is this your off week? It is. Yeah, it's my off week. Cool dad, goofy mom ticket. Kinda, huh? That's kind of what it's shaping up to be. Watching from Perryville, Missouri. Well, holy shit, Missouri. My family is from Missouri. Well, my dad's side of the family from Missouri. Mom's side of the family is from Arkansas. Both of those sides of the family filtered through Texas before coming to California. Cheers. Luckily, they got to California before they fucking decided to create me. I dodged a bullet on that one. You guys gonna do a DFF on Kamala? I think so, yeah. I think it would be smart to do one. Maybe even a Kamala gauntlet. What do you think about that? Yeah, we covered Kamala Harris in 2019 when she was attempting to be a primary candidate. Biden or Trump, neither. Would be interesting Googling her. Give you a very rosy image of her tenure as a politician. Yeah. Is there enough for a gauntlet? I don't know. There might not be. But I think it would be good to do like a Kamala Harris DFF. Just like, let's do like an ultra deep dive into her policies and her past and her controversies and her, the positivity, the negativity, the polls, the political history, the personal history. Let's do it all. Yeah, we're on break this week. We'll be back next Tuesday. Paul, I'm thinking about becoming a cop. What do you expect most from public servants? Service. The Christian people call it a servant's heart. That's what I expect from a public servant. I expect a public servant to realize that their job is not personal. It is for the community. That's what I expect. What would be best for the community for me to do right now? Like, what would the community want me to do about this? How would the community that pays my bills and relies on me to protect them want me to handle this situation? That's how I'd like a cop to think every second of every day. Did you see the Aiden Ross Trump stream? I saw a couple of like clips from it. There is no, I will let you know right now, there is no fucking way I could make it through 5 minutes of that. Dude, I found a quote from Aiden Ross. I found a recent quote from him on his stream where somebody called him a fascist. And he was like, dude, I don't know what a fascist is, dude. I don't even know what a fascist is. And he looks it up, and he literally cannot read the definition. He cannot read nationalist. He cannot read any of the descriptors. Like, he literally, and then he goes, bro, I don't even know what that is after he tries to read it. And then somebody links a fascist article that names Hitler, and he's like, yo, I know, man. It's like, Who is Aiden Ross? He is a Twitch streamer. Well, he used to be a Twitch streamer. I think he might have gotten banned from Twitch. But he's like one of those, he's one of these like early 20s dudes that got super popular streaming. Like, he's in that same kind of like wheelhouse as like I Show Speed and Kai Sanat and guys like that. They're dudes that like, they're young guys and they do nothing but like gas up young guys on stream. It's like, and they're multi-millionaires. Super toxic broccoli top. Yeah. Gaming streamer that got popular. Yeah, more of like a React streamer that got popular. Although maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think most of these dudes, like, they might play games once in a while, but they mostly just react to things. Paul, you guys already did a Kamala episode back in 2016. I'm aware. Yeah. We did one when she was possibly a candidate for president in the upcoming election. Yeah, seriously, the all caps bullshit. It's garbo. I refuse to believe he's that stupid. It has to be an act. No. What, if you go look at the clip, it's the last thing I tweeted, I think. So if you want to go to my Twitter at Paul's Ego, and you'll see him trying to sound out 8th grade words and failing. And just literally reading comprehension 0, reading ability 0.5. And this is a high school graduate. Can't read, can't write, can't speak. His vocabulary is probably 4th grade level. No, he's not doing it on purpose. One of my brothers is that fucking stupid. No human being without a learning disability should be that uninformed and that incapable of reading and reading comprehension at his age. I don't know how old Aiden is. I'm going to guess 22, 23, somewhere in there. By the age of 23, you should be able to pick up pretty much any book written in your language and read it and comprehend it. That's the goal of public education, is to turn you into a person who can educate themselves. Now, you can grab a book, you can read it, and you can glean something from it. Aiden Ross has not received that education. And so a book to him is like kryptonite. Written ideas, long-form stories that inform the human condition, those things are unknown to him completely. He walks through the world with zero idea what's going on, zero knowledge of himself. He's just kind of floating from thing to thing. Yeah, Trump has an issue reading, yes. Dude, I have nieces and nephews that are still single-digit age, okay? We're talking 6, 7, 8, 9. The ones getting up towards the end, the higher end of that, 7, 8, 9, could easily outread Aiden Ross, a 23-year-old millionaire. You have any idea how fucking upside down and backwards that is? My nieces and nephews that aren't even 10 yet are better spoken and more well-read than the average 20-year-old. Ruh-roh. Yeah, he was one of these, like, red pill dudes, Andrew Tate simps. You know what I mean? Like, just doing whatever he was smart about that, if nothing else. I mean, there's no way dude would be a fucking multimillionaire sitting in a mansion streaming if he was completely retarded. But he's esoterically retarded. He's existentially retarded. Like, he knows how to be a retard on the internet, but he doesn't know how to read a book. He doesn't know how to understand history. He doesn't know how to understand himself. Just had my nieces out for a visit, and they wouldn't stop talking about Alpha Sigma Riz. Yeah. Well, my nieces and nephews are all homeschooled. My sister, she's an accredited teacher, and she's now a stay-at-home mom of, count them, 7 children, ranging in age from 17 to 1. And those children are like, it's like magic visiting them, because they are kids. They're wild, they're crazy, you know what I mean? They got tons of energy, but they are not reflections of the internet. I never ever see my nieces and nephews sitting on the couch quietly with a fucking tablet going like this. Never. I don't think I've ever seen one of them do it. They run around, they're outside, they come up, they give me a hug, they sit down, they fucking bring a little game to play. They want me to fucking see something that they made, they lead me over there to it. I mean, there's no devices, their screen time is very low. Like, they've got a video game room where they can go and play video games, but their time in there is limited. They don't have a TV in the family room, so there's no TV obsession. It's fucking crazy, right? Like, I don't necessarily agree with my brother-in-law and my sister in terms of, you know, their worldview. But when it comes to their children, I don't know who could gainsay them. You know what I mean? I don't know what you'd say. Oh, your kids are too well behaved. Your kids are too smart. Your kids are too well read. Your kids' vocabularies are too good. Your kids are too fucking polite. Like, what are you gonna tell them? Oh, your kids aren't obsessed with video games and cell phones and tablets and bullshit. You know, what are you gonna say? Yeah, Kale gets no gaming time during the week. Gets 2 hours a day, Friday through Sunday. See, that's so smart. You know? It's just such a smart thing to do, to not allow kids to decide what's at the center of their fucking planet. You decide that. You let them decide that the center of their planet is watching Twitch all day, or watching Pixar movies for the umpteenth time on their tablet with their fucking earbuds in, then that's what they will do. My 3-year-old has manners in public and says thank you. People act like it's the wildest thing they've ever seen. It's crazy. His iPhone locks at 9 p.m. and he only has a certain hour. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, Prab. See, like, you're an example of a parent that's doing your job. You're making sure that your kid isn't overexposed to fucking bullshit. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to lock him away from everything. He doesn't ever get to play a video game or see a movie or something. It just means that you keep him accountable for how much time he spends doing that shit versus doing his homework versus being outside with his friends. And that is smart. That is smart parenting. The problem is, most parents are not doing that. Oh boy, Phoebes. In the Navy. Ba 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 ba. In the Navy. Trans folk in the military is, it's smooth now. Well, I'll tell you this, Phoebes. I won't dissuade you. You will be a different person when you come out. I don't know anybody that goes through military training and at least one service period that doesn't come back completely and utterly different. So, you know, good on you. I would say no, don't do it, but it's your life. Blood out here. Get your little booty out here, boy. Get your little booty out here, boy. Uh, uh. When gamed properly, the military is one of the best ways to get ahead in life. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I don't like. I'm not super like. You know, I would never join the military, and I will never be the guy that says, "Hey, you maybe should think about the military." But there's no denying that, like. There's no denying that it blows doors open for you. So, what's your height? I am 6'1". I would aimlessly travel abroad with no money before I'd sign my life away again. Goodbye, personal agency. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's one of those things. It's like some people need something different. You know, they need a change, I guess, and the military can do that for you. The military can get you to look at things differently. It can get you to look at yourself differently, utilize yourself differently. Where are you from? I'm from California. I never say the United States because fuck that. It's too big. California. California, here we come, right back where we started from. California, here we come. California, here we come. California love. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city of LA. In the city of good old Watts. In the city of Compton. We keep it rockin'. It's true, though. Cali is the Wild West, man. People have this vision of California that just doesn't exist, man. From the OC. What it do? I'm not from the OC. I am from the CV. Also, thought of a perfect response if anybody thanks me for my service. Thanks for your tax dollars. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. You got about fucking 4 years before thank you for your service becomes part of your life. You're getting a little ahead. One step at a time, one step at a time. Is it true that everything is expensive in California? Isn't it true that everything's expensive everywhere? I thought everything was fucking expensive everywhere now. The last time I was out of state, shit was expensive as fuck. Is it more expensive in Cali? Probably. Maybe. Well, I mean, I was a conscript in Finland. It was a learning experience. It taught me discipline and to detest rotten power structures. Made me more socialist. Cool. Washington's food prices. Yeah. Well, Cali's food prices are nowhere near this, like, as bad as people think they are. Because think about it. Cali is a breadbasket. So much food and produce is produced in the Central Valley of California alone, let alone like your coastal farming areas and all of that shit, that California food doesn't have to be shipped all the way across the country and shit. Fucking refrigerated for 22 hours while it drives to New York State. It just shows up on our shelves fresh. Will prices of day-to-day essentials ever go back down? Has it ever happened in your lifetime? Yeah. Inflation and recession, right? Like, that's been the cycle. Yep, tomatoes, if you eat almonds or walnuts, if you eat cabbage, if you eat citrus fruit, if you eat kale, if you eat avocados, if you eat what are those things called? The fucking ones where you take the leaf and you eat off the leaf. I'm brain farting. My brain just keeps saying avocado, 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 avocado. It's not an avocado. You know what I'm talking about? Where the prickly thing where you peel a leaf off and you can eat the meat off of the leaf once you boiled it. Artichoke. It's another A. If you eat an artichoke, you're all over it. This is all Cali shit, right? Dairy. California has a ginormous dairy and pork industry. So if you're eating cow, if you're drinking milk, happy cows come from California, baby. I'm a 6'7", 265-pound linebacker for the Raiders. Cool, Chuck Norris. And you're also the star of... What was that called? Fuck, what was the show? Deputy something or whatever? I can't remember. Can't grow that sweet Ohio corn dough. Yeah, true. Yeah, almonds are the most water wasting crop. It takes a profound amount of water to water an entire grove of almond trees. Walker, Texas Ranger. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's correct. That's the one. How are the wildfires out there? Awful. Yeah, I'm down in the valley, so not in danger of being in a fire, but all of the smoke and dust and shit from those fires accumulates over where I live and keeps the fucking air quality at pretty much zero. So it sucks. I'm looking to get out, but I will be in a fire hazard area when I move. I mean, I'll be living right in the fucking woods, so that's kind of shitty, but what are you gonna do? Walker, Texas Ranger, Karate Commandos, and Sons of Thunder were my main shows. Wow. Good for you, buddy. Thoughts on Kamala picking Tim Walz? We talked about it earlier. I think it's a good pick. I think he's like a solid centrist pick. I think he's a good pick for like his affability and his ability to speak to people down south in a way that doesn't alienate them. I think he's going to be good at that. That like he's got like big Midwestern troll dad energy, and I think that that's going to play well down there. So I think it's a smart pick. I think it's a better pick than Shapiro would have been. Although, from what I looked into, Walz is a big Israel simp as well. So I don't think we're going to get any progressiveness out of Tim Walz for that. And that kind of sucks. That is my, kind of number one issue right now is the genocide that's going on with my tax dollars. So, what's your opinion on Kyle supporting Kamala? Kyle has always supported a Democrat for president. I don't remember a single time that Kyle wasn't supporting a Democrat for president. So, Walz is very pro-union. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a really good thing. You think this pair can beat Trump and Vance? I'm still skeptical. One of the things I said earlier was vice presidential picks have a historically low impact on the outcome of elections. So everybody's like celebrating this VP pick, but historically VP picks have been very inconsequential when it comes to the electoral process. So I don't know that either one of them is going to get a bump or really shed anybody over their VP picks. Now, the big moment will be, of course, Tim Walz getting in the room with J.D. Vance. Little vice presidential, that can sway people, right? But ultimately, I don't think things have changed much. There's definitely a swing in positivity towards Kamala's campaign, but there's also a lot of time between now and November. And there's a lot of shit that's going to hang around her neck, right? So let me give you an example. Biden just doesn't do press conferences anymore. I don't know if you guys are following this because everybody's screaming about Tim Walz. Nobody's screaming about the carrier group that just got moved to the Middle East. Nobody's screaming about Israel saying it's going to do a preemptive strike on Israel or on Iran. So the war is widening in the Middle East, just like everybody feared at the beginning of it. If we keep supporting Israel through this, if we keep supplying them with the bombs they need to genocide a population of Arabs right in front of everybody, then this war will widen. And here it is. And so we haven't heard from Biden. We haven't heard a peep from Biden on him sending a carrier group to the Middle East. He's our commander-in-chief. He's sending Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, out to just kind of toss this, that, and the other thing out there about what's going on. And we know that our president is non-functional after 4 p.m., according to his staffers. This was widely reported on every major news outlet. This was vetted by the New York Times. This was vetted by the Wall Street Journal. This was vetted by the #1 papers of record in this country. So it's not a joke. Joe Biden doesn't, he, quote unquote, struggles to function after 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're about to be in a giant war. We're about to be in a giant Middle Eastern war, possibly the beginnings of World War III. And our commander-in-chief is non-functional after 4 p.m. and hasn't said one word to the nation about the giant carrier group that just set sail for the Middle East. All of that, right, to bring it back to what we were talking about, hangs around the neck of Kamala Harris. People expect her to be influencing the Biden administration, even if that's a silly expectation. They expect the Biden administration to be handing over the reins to Kamala a little bit, letting her show she can be a leader. And if they don't let her do that, and if Biden or whoever's actually running Biden continues to support the genocide, continues to support military escalation in the Middle East, people are war weary. They don't want it. And so all of that is an albatross around the neck of Kamala Harris. And once all the fervor over her picking Tim Walz and her being fucking elevated dies down, which it is, then people are going to be left looking at Biden with tits. Doesn't do well in interviews, prone to rambling and saying stupid, incoherent shit. Shitty on Israel, shitty on the economy, shitty on the border. Biden with tits. And I don't think that's gonna sell. But maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe I'll be fucking surprised. It's always the capacity for surprise in American politics. Don't let anybody tell you different. Now, a lesson from the dark times of 2016 is about to play out again. Just doesn't feel like Christmas if the mummers aren't there. Yeah, so I hate how even like dyed in the wool Dem vote blue no matter who people are simping for the strong border rhetoric now. It just goes to show you the Overton window just goes constantly to the right, constantly to the right. Now we've got people clapping like empty-headed seals when Kamala says, I'm going to be tougher on the border than Trump. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Law, bro, Trump ain't winning shit. How are your eggs Benedict and your pitcher of mimosas? Is that feeling good? Are you feeling that 2016, she's got this in the bag energy? Hold that. Hold that energy, bro. Hold on to that energy. I want to see how you're feeling in 2 months. Don't be telling my mods what to do, Xenodroid. They handle their fucking business. They need to be told something, I'll tell them. I don't ban anybody. My mods do, though. Trump won once, so he'll win again. Good argument. That's not what I said. I just said that the last time that we had an unelectable, unlikable politician heading up the Democratic Party and everybody just kind of kicked back and sipped mimosas while the bitch lost, and then everybody got freaked out. Like, what happened? How did this happen? No! I'm saying that energy is fucking crackling in the air. I'm with her. We need a woman in the House. A woman in the House. The White House. Kamala Harris is the one. Hillary in the house. Yeah. That energy is just... It's electric in the air right now. Keep that energy. Good for y'all. Keep that energy. Let's do it. Let's do a vibe check in 2 months. See if that energy is still there. Kamala in the house. Kamala in the White House. She's got this in the bag, yo. We don't even need you. Order up the brunch. Order up the brunch. I want scrambled eggs and toast. Order up the brunch. No, it'll be a couple of months. I know how these simp cycles go. They're going to be crowing about Tim Walz for another couple weeks. It'll be one thing after the other until reality starts to set in and we're a month out. Then they're going to go, oh, fuck. She chose Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Probably the best choice of the people that have been posited. A dude with a pretty good progressive record in his state, very, very centrist on the national stage in terms of his positions on things. Supporter of Israel, etc. But probably the most likable pick of her short list. So, do you think RFK has a chance? No. I think he has a chance of getting a big high-level position in one of the upcoming administrations if he plays his cards right. But as far as him like winning, no. You think Trump is a strong candidate? Yes. Yes. Setting aside the fact that I think he's a big giant buffoon, he mobilizes his base better than anybody on the Democratic side does. So yeah, I think he's a strong pick for the Republican Party. I don't think I can think of anybody that I think would have done better than Trump at unifying and mobilizing that base. So yeah, I mean, he's a good candidate. Kamala will win with the Swiftie TikTok vote. Yeah. The youth vote. The old youth vote meme. Yeah, RFK said he had a worm in his brain. I don't know. I heard a crowd chanting Kamala, and at first I thought they were chanting Donald Trump. Oh. Greetings, Paul. Are you ready for Reverse Hyperkinetic Particle Matrix Awareness Sunday? Huh? What? What did he say, D? Reverse metric hyperkinetic? Do you know what that means? Because I don't know what that means. What? Look at this beautiful boy. Look at him. Where's he at? There he is. Look at this little dinosaur. Isn't he the sweetest little dinosaur that you ever did see? What a little sweetie Bo Petey. You're a sweetie Bo Petey, dinosaur. Are you thirsty? You want to go inside? You want to go inside? Okay. He likes to go inside. Yes, yes. There we go. The boy is inside. Paul, I gotta say, at first I didn't like how you looked with glasses, but now I don't know why you look pretty good with them. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I need them, so it's not a fashion choice. My once beautiful and almost perfect vision has been sullied by old age. I am struggling with my vision, and the glasses help me. I squished my pair of computer glasses, and I have to take them in to get repaired. I fell asleep with them on my head, and I rolled over on them in my sleep, and it's a catastrophe. So I have to go get them repaired. It fucking sucks. Where did the name Dinosaur come from? His name is Dinosaur without the S. So if you spell dinosaur and just omit the S, that's Dinosaur. And that's where it came from. So the show I used to be on, Drunken Peasants, there was this crazy rich benefactor guy named Jim Ass. Used to fucking donate a bunch of money to the show, and he was like a guest on the show and shit. And one day he showed us some of his artwork, and one of them was this hideous drawing, and it was labeled Dinosaur. And it looked like a dog. It looked like a kindergartner drew a dog and then misspelled the name dinosaur, right? And everybody laughed at it and thought it was funny. Fast forward about a year, I'm living in Texas with my girlfriend. She wants to get a dog. I say, okay, let's get a dog. We get a dog. we brainstorm names. One of the names she wants is Dinor. And I'm like, all right, well, what other names are good? And she has 5 or 6 more. I have 5 or 6 that I want. We get Dinor, we get the dog, and we go to PetSmart to get him his shots. And we go to get him his little collar thing with his name. And I'm like, all right, so what are we going to name this little floof? And she's like, Dinor. And I was like, please no. Anything but Dinor, please no. Can we name him anything but Dinor? Nope, Dinor. That's his name. He's Dinor. He's a Dinor. And I was like, fuck, I'm not going to win this argument. So that was that. Now his name is Dinor forever. No. Jim Ass drew it and presented it as part of his artwork. So now my dog is a constant reminder of a shit tier meme from 10 years ago. But that's okay. I think she was right. I think Dinor was his name because it's perfect for him. And then I call him D. Dirty D, Dusty D. Dirty D from the Salty Sea. That's his long one. Sometimes shit tier was the best tier. It usually is. Tim Walls VP, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've talked about it before. I'll say it again. I think it was probably the smart pick for Kamala. Of the short list, there might have been somebody that would have been a little better just in general, but I understand picking a Midwesterner. And yeah, Tim Walls is a pretty solid centrist dude. Has, like I said, big Midwestern troll dad energy, which I think is going to play well in the South. I think it's, I think it's a good pick. Do you guys have a new rich guy donating to DFF, or is Jim Ass still around donating? No, we have a couple of dudes. I don't know if they're rich, but we have a couple of dudes. Mr. Naughty Priest and our Air Force guy, whose name I always get wrong, Devin Peterson. Or Devin Peters. Devlin, I don't know, but yeah, no, there's quite a few people that are dropping big donos and stuff for us, which is always nice, but they carry a lot of the shows as far as our donation goals go. Naughty Priest has got to be rich. Yeah, probably. Dirty D of the Salty Sea, leave the doggos be. That is true. Dirty D from the salty, salty sea. But I'm a big nicknamer when it comes to animals. Like, I hardly ever call animals by their name. I'll always find a variation and I make it long. I don't know why I don't like having short names, one syllable names for animals. Or 2. Like our cat Cricket. I love his name because you can say it so sassy, Cricket. But I say Crickety Crasket, Quicket, Quicket Quacket, Quiskety Quasket. I just can't just say their name. I can't just say the correct name for any animal that I love. It has to have 90 different nicknames that I call. We were shocked by TJ's height the first time, even though you knew he was tall. Yeah, I mean, everybody is. For me, it was I walk around in the world and typically I'm one of the taller guys in a public setting. Typically. 6'1", I'm pretty tall. And the first time I met TJ, I went in for a hug. And he grabbed me. and my face, my head was right here between his tits. And as a grown ass man, you never feel that. You never feel like somebody is encompassing you and bringing you, like, that's your job as a big dude, right? You're in the hug. You're the one that brings it in and gives the big, nice, tight hug. And I got that the other way, and I was like, fuck, this dude is huge. I've only had one better hug than that. It was at the last meetup. This huge fucking Viking dude showed up. He was actually 6'7", so 3 inches taller than TJ. And he was like, hey dude, can I have a hug? And I was like, yeah. And he pulled me in, and I just didn't ever want it to stop. I was like, oh my God, just hold me, you fucking giant Viking bastard. Just hold me and tell me everything's gonna be okay. 6'1" is a great height to be. Yeah, I guess. I like a big guy too. Yeah. I mean, I'm not even like, I'm a bi guy. I'm not even really attracted to giant dudes, but I might have made an exception for that one because that was too good. Do you pity short guys? Only the ones that never learned how to just like outshine their height. Guys that allow themselves to be defined by their being 5'8" or 5'7" or whatever, and they don't like take control of their own identity and stuff, and they just kind of allow themselves to have that little man energy their whole lives. I do pity those guys because like it's like they didn't choose that. But dude, a lot of the biggest, like when you talk about BDE, right? Big dick energy. A lot of the dudes that exuded big dick energy that I've known, like genuine BDE, have been dudes that are like a head shorter than me. So it really like is about how the dude handles being shorter, right? If you're 5'6" as a guy, how you handle that is going to be way more indicative of how people look at you than your height. Please don't cut beard. I won't. I've had this beard for over, I think it's like 15 years now since I last shaved off a beard. And I don't think I'll ever do it. I think I'll die with this beard. Allergies are kicking today. You put anything in the beard? Yeah, I have a brand of beard oil that I use. It's like an all natural, no chemical additives brand called Honest Amish. They use beeswax and jojoba oil and stuff like that. And I put that in my beard when it's feeling dry. So right now my beard is pretty moisturized. Like I didn't put any oil in it today. It doesn't need it. But tomorrow I'll probably have to put a dollop in just to keep it like moist. I also don't wash my beard with hair shampoo. If you feel your head hair and then feel your beard hair, this is two different kinds of hair. And you don't want to strip the oils out of your beard with shampoo. I have not tried Dr. Squatch, no. Because of TJ, I first thought you were 5'7". Yeah. When you look at a picture of me standing next to TJ, the human brain goes like, all right, that dude's 5'8" and that dude's 6'1". That makes sense. But it just ain't so. I'm 5'9". No, you're actually above average height, I think, if you're 5'9". Isn't average globally? The average height for a man is what? 5'7", isn't it? Yeah, we're getting lots of smoke in the area for sure. Just due to the fucking fire shit, you know. There's what, like 3 wildfires, I think, within 300 miles of me now. Paul, did you know the United States had $0 debt once in 1835 after President Andrew Jackson paid it off? Yeah, I mean, debt is wealth. So that's the way it works. It blew my mind when I learned that like rich people don't ever buy anything. I was like, what? What do you mean they don't buy anything? And like, you don't ever, like, you don't get rich by tying up your money. Once you're rich and banking institutions know that you've got $100 billion or whatever the fuck you've got, right? You can do whatever you want. Like you could take out a very low interest special loan and just put everything that you want on that. And just pay off the fucking principal every month and just let it sit there. You know what I mean? Or they get like it's not even a loan, it's like a business, it's like an unlimited line of credit, right? It's like a line of credit that's pre-approved by a banking institution. So if you decide you want a Lamborghini, you just give them your black card and you've just bought a Lamborghini. But you didn't buy it, you financed it. I've tried explaining that, but I don't understand the economics and what not to fully explain how it works. Well, once you have enough money, banks will give you money at a super low interest rate. So like if I wanted to go take out a $100,000 loan right now, I'd probably get raped on the interest rate. But if I could show that I've got $1 billion in the bank, they're going to give me a fucking 0.6% interest rate or even lower. And it's an open line of credit that I can put anything on and it just revolves. Paul, what is the topic? I have no fucking clue, bro. Don't ask. I think we're talking about rich people and how they don't spend any money. Rich people's money stays in banking institutions and creative like hedge funds and stuff, and it fucks and makes more money. And then they buy all their cool shit on loan, on a unlimited line of credit with a banking institution or a number of them. Does it get canceled when they die, or does it go to their kids? That's a good question. I don't know how that works. I'm sure whoever inherits the estate inherits the debt. That's typically how it would work. Love the tie-dye colored shirt, Paul. Yeah. Paul, can you start a business just using bank money? Yes, you can. You know, you have to be very careful and you have to have good credit going in and good credit history. So if you've got dog shit credit, the answer is no. If you've got, you know, 750 credit, you're looking sweet on your credit reports. You got all 3 credit reports, by the way. So you got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. All 3 of those credit reports look good. You got no loan defaults. All of that is gravy. Then yeah, you can take out a $250,000 loan and use that to secure your lease and secure your initial product and decorate your place and hire your contractors to do the work that you need them to do, and etc., and start a business that way. Yes, you can. It's a very common way to start a business. I watched that YouTuber Caleb Hammer. He does Financial Channel, and that has helped me a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I'm bad with financial shit. I'm not trying to give advice, but I was married to someone who was. Well, anyway, I don't want to say what my ex-wife did, but let's just say that like I learned a lot I learned a lot of basics about how to handle your credit and how to handle your fucking money and all of that stuff. And I don't want you, and I don't need you to bother to resist, or I'll beat you. It's not your fault that you're always wrong. The weak get together just to buy the strong. The beautiful people, the beautiful people. It's all anatomic as the size of your steeple. Can't key the forest for the trees. You can't smell your own shirt on your knees. There's no time to discriminate. Hate every motherfucker that's in your way. Any advice for quitting pot? No. One of the good things about weed is it's just a psychological addiction. I wasn't a big fan of the new Manson song. Yeah, you don't got a physical addiction to deal with. It is going to suck not being high for a while, but you can cold turkey it whenever you need to, Phoebes. You know, and you just put it on the shelf. I mean, I went years without smoking weed. I think from like 28 to like 31, I was like a teetotaler, man. I barely drank, didn't smoke weed at all. So, yeah. Beautiful people, the beautiful people. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll have to learn some new coping mechanisms. If you're anything like me and you're self-medicating with it, you're gonna have to work on your coping mechanisms, because there's a lot of unhealthy things that you can do to slip into that role. I'll be back. I gotta get something to drink. Dear God, won't you help me tell Knuckles down and hold yourself? Dear God, when you climb off that tree into the shape of a T. Dear God, the paper said you were the king in the black limousine. Dear God, and all the king's men couldn't put you back together again. Before the bullets, before the flies, before authorities take out my eyes. The only smiling are you dolls that I made. But you are plastic, so are your brains. Haven't seen Long Legs yet, no. Super underrated. That whole album is fire. Every cut on that album is fire. Operations department. Work for the largest bank that supports legal weed in the country. After a year, I can transfer. Sick, bro. That might be cool. I was surprised they casted Ollie London in the Long Legs movie. I don't know. Target audience. I see all the unbelievers. Target audience. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's good. Do you agree with Mark Twain's quote, worrying is like paying debt you don't owe? I agree with it. I wish it came with a pithy way to not worry, you know. Here's a little song I wrote. You might sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. Every life a little trouble. Or when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. What is your favorite song on the album? Dude, I struggle with that because one of the problems with the album is that the names are weird. I mean, it might be that first song. That song, I remember when I put that CD in, I bought it on impulse. I saw it, and I was like, whoa, new Manson CD, huh? Cool. Bought it, took it home, that first song blew my mind. So it might be, whatever that is, Narcissus, whatever it's called. It might be that first song. That song is such a mood setter. It's like hard to listen to the rest of the album without letting that song bring you where you're supposed to be. I love Oscar Wilde quotes because I imagine him making David Brent faces when making them. Oh, okay. The only thing I dislike about the first song is it's too short. Yeah, I mean, but it's a vibe. Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's like it's just such a vibe set. Hello from Seattle. I hope you're having a great day. What's up, Seattle? I used to live in Bellevue. Now I'm down here in California. Yeah, lived in Bellevue for a nice year and then realized I was going broke and I left. It's the coolest thing you've experienced personally. The coolest thing? Bro, it's fucked up because I wish I could share it with you in a way that you could go search it up. I used to roadie for a band, okay, named Spread Needle. They were like a nu metal band, and they did a coastal tour, and one of the stops on that tour was a place called Slow Brew in San Luis Obispo, California, and it's a pretty great venue, and they were opening for a band called Dreyfus. And the guys, while we were riding up there, were playing me this Dreyfus CD that they had. And I just wasn't getting it. It was like prog rock almost, is what they were playing me. With a like new metal edge to it, obviously. And I was like, you know, and I like you guys better. Like, why aren't they opening for you? And they were like, you just don't understand, dude. You just don't fucking get it, but you will. I was like, all right. I mean, they're good, but I don't get it. Like what? Because they were like gushing over this Dreyfus band, like they were the next coming of Christ or some shit. And so we got to the Slow Brew, and that place is really gross, by the way. Out back of the Slow Brew, there's a place called Gum Alley, and literally people just go out there and put bubble gum on the wall. You've probably seen it. It's kind of like an internationally famous weird spot back there. They'll come and scrape it off once every 4 or 5 years, but it fills right back up. People just like, that's what it's about, Gum Alley. But the venue itself is like a really cool, low-key, big rock venue. And so we set up, and the dudes played, and the crowd was pretty sparse, honestly. I was like, I don't know what these guys were raving about, bro. Like, this Dreyfus band brought, what, 15 people in, 25 people in at the max. And so the guys played their set, we cleared the stage, packed up. And I was out back, right, packing up, like pulling stuff, packing it up, getting the van arranged and shit. And when I went back in, the venue was literally packed. I was like ass to ass. And so we had venue tags, right? Because we were an opening act. So we could leave and come back and do whatever we needed to do. And so we went out front to have a smoke, line around the corner, and they're turning people away. And I was like, what is this? We went back in, muscled my way to the front, standing by a speaker stack, right? Kind of like off to the front left of the stage with a speaker stack, right? And these dudes walk out. And have you ever seen the guys from Weezer? You know, that like nerdy looking band, right? The lead singer looked just like the lead singer of Weezer. He was like probably 5'6", skinny, nerdy, with nerdy kind of glasses on, dressed very like normal, you know, like wasn't like rock star at all. And all the guys looked like a variation on that theme. And I'm looking around at this fucking giant audience that's just like screaming. These guys haven't even started playing yet. They're just like plugging in. And this audience is like fucking screaming. It's like, what? So I just sat there, watched them set up, and then they played their set, and it was the fucking most awesome set I've ever seen. I've seen some awesome bands, some fucking AAA bands play fully fucking $1 million touring sets. And they got their doors blown off by a fucking shitty band that broke up months later, and now you can't even find their CD. Literally blew doors, bro. The energy that came off that nerdy little band was like nothing I ever saw. It was the coolest fucking thing I ever saw happen. I remember feeling at the end of that, I will never be as cool as one of these dudes in my entire fucking life. I don't deserve it. I wish I could at least find a Dreyfus CD. My only hope is to try and get in touch with one of those dudes. I'd have to get on Facebook. I'd have to ask them if they have a Dreyfus CD. And if they could burn it for me and send me the fucking waves. It was awesome. Like legitimately, I can't. I was 6 rows, 7 rows back for Tool on the floor. I could smell fucking the BO coming off of Maynard, okay? And I got to see them on the Lateralis tour. And so that was a big, giant spectacle show with big fucking body that, like, the layers of skin would peel off of it. And, like, it was fucking crazy. And Dreyfus blew doors on that. They blew doors on it. I'm sorry. I know you may not believe me, but that shitty little band and that shitty little venue in Slow blew doors on Tool during the Lateralis tour. Hyper show. Way hyper. Well, that's the thing, is like, this happened in the early 2000s, before people were archiving their music online, before, it was still physical media. It was like 2002 when this happened. So it was all physical media. People were trading CDs and burning CDs and passing out free CDs. Where were they from? They were from San Luis Obispo. They were a local band from San Luis Obispo, California. Born and raised there. Band formed there. Band broke up there. And they were a legend at the Slow Brew. They packed the Slow Brew out every night. I believe they were on the cusp of getting signed. Like, all it was going to take was for a major label to get word of the buzz. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, dude, anybody with a label was at that show, those dudes would have been a fucking giant band. They just were underground, you know what I mean? Paul, what was the first genre music you got into that started your love of music? So how far back are we going? Because, like, of course, like every kid, before a certain age, my parents' music was my music, right? And I still love that music. My parents are actual boomers. So, born in the 50s, raised in the 60s, came of age in the 70s, right? So I listened to a lot of 60s protest rock, and Beatles, and Thunderclap Newman, and stuff like that. Listened to a lot of, like, funk and soul and R&B. So we're talking like, and folk, right? So, Grand Funk Railroad and Roy Ayers, Ubiquity, and all of this shit, right? My life, my life, my life, my life, in the sunshine, bum, 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 that sort of stuff. Disco, right? My parents loved disco, and I love disco, okay? Old disco music is great. I wanna put on my boogie shoes. Burn it, burn it. Such good genre. So I loved, and then my parents, obviously, in the 80s, they were in their 20s, right? Or their, mid-20s, and, like, it's like they listened to 80s pop and 80s rock. So Cyndi Lauper and Madonna and, Stryper and all of that shit, right? And I got into all of that stuff. But the first genre of music that I got into on my own, modern shit that my parents probably wouldn't have listened to, I learned it in the most 80s fucking manner possible. Oh, jazz. Well, see, my parents weren't big into jazz, but I had an aunt that played jazz standards on her fucking record player every time I was over, so I loved jazz as a kid, too. Here's the thing. I was at the skating rink. No shit, legitimately at the skating rink, and I'm skating around, and all of a sudden I hear this track come on, and it was like I had to stop skating. It went bump 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 bump. You should be cautious. Don't ever look that girl in the eyes. And I was like, what is this? It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for... I started skating to it. I was like, can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her. That girl is poison. I was like, oh shit. I was like 8 or 7. And so I immediately went over and asked the dude that was playing the music at the thing, who is that? Belle Biv DeVoe. Never heard of it, never heard music like that in my life. It was like a blend of R&B and hip hop. There was a rap breakdown in it. It blew my fucking mind out of my skull because my parents were just not into rap at all. Rap had existed in its modern form for a couple of years before I heard that shit. And for about a decade, if you include some of the very early rap shit. But that was it. I begged my parents to get me that Belle Biv DeVoe CD. I think I got it for my birthday or Christmas or whatever it was that year. And that was it. That was it. In fact, I think they got me a tape. And it was over, you know, for me after that. I went tumbling down the rabbit hole into hip hop and R&B. And that was my main, like, home genre of music. Still is to this day. I never looked back, really. Now, I like other genres, obviously. I like rock, I like jazz, I like R&B, I like funk, I like old country shit. Modern country sucks. There are very few, like, genres of music that I'm just completely repelled by. But my home base is hip-hop. Oh, you gotta hear the original Belle Biv DeVoe Poison, bro. It's a bop. Never trust a big butt and a smile. Yeah, that's a good album. Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of Million to Take Us Back. Yeah. You down with OPP? Who's down with OPP? Every last told me. This is pretty chill, dope. Yeah. I'm about to fire up a joint, and then when I finish that joint, we're gonna call it a day, because it's gonna be hot out here. It's already hot out here, and it's gonna be too hot out here in about 30-40 minutes. But I'm gonna enjoy the outside while I fucking can. Let me see if I can, like, get myself a little bit more shade here. Yeah, that's better. That'll help. That'll help a lot. Paul, do you agree that genius and madness are directly connected? Whoa, whoa, if crazy equals genius. Whoa, whoa, if crazy equals genius, then I'm a fucking arsonist. And I'm a fucking scientist. If crazy equals genius. That song takes me back. It should, yeah. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend was a huge fan of Panic at the Disco. And I got to see them live at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. And that was a great fucking concert, man. And a great band, honestly. Like, a lot of fucking energy. Not my style of band. Like, I probably never would have gotten into them had I not dated somebody that loved them. But, love that shit. I thought I disliked rock before I started listening to Manson in my teens. Everyone gives him credit for the lyrics mainly, but I really like the yeah. Brendan Ura just sounds so beta. So beta. Champagne, cocaine, gasoline, and most things in between. I love the city in a parking lot. I pack of Camels and I smoke 'em up. This time is eating up. Oh yeah, don't threaten me with a good time. Alright, it's a hell of a feeling now. Top 5 favorite rap albums. Ooh, let's talk. Bump, 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 bum, bum. So The Art of Storytelling by Slick Rick. That's probably my top. I know it's a fucking it's a middle of the road like obvious pick, but The Chronic changed the landscape of hip hop. Life After Death by Biggie Smalls. Boom Shakalaka. Now we got our first 3. That's our first 3 in that order. Straight Outta Compton by NWA. That's number 4. And number 5 is kind of a wild card pick for me, honestly. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna go with a fucking wild one on this. Clips, Hell Hath No Fury. That whole album is fucking amazing. That's a more like, well, 2008-9, I think is when that came out. That album, the energy of that album was fucking. Bump, 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 ba-dum-dum. Trying to claim things I haven't heard. Honest man. Slick Rick and Outkast is on this jam. Got 2 diamonds on the 2 grand. Trying to help raise all you to me. Bum, 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 bum. No, I do not hate XXX Tentacion. I unboomered myself on SoundCloud rap about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer, and I've been riding the vibes ever since. Favorite No Limit record album? Ooh, you know what, dude? The Snoop album. I can't remember what he called it. But the Snoop album it was like a cavalcade of all of No Limit's top talent. Lord Have was on there. C Murder, who was my favorite No Limit soldier. I liked his album too. C Murder's album was pretty good. But I gotta go with the Snoop album for No Limit. Some rappers are so gangsta. Dude, I love Snoop. Dude, that clip of him on The Breakfast Club, I bring it up all the time, but it's just so fucking gangster. That lady on The Breakfast Club, that radio interview program, is like, times have changed, and looking back on some of your lyrics, some of them are very, very misogynistic. Would you go back and change anything? And he cuts her off, and he's like, fuck no, I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. I say I stand by my lyrics 100%. Fuck them hoes. And I was like, damn. Does Paul like techno music? I do. I tend to like house and drum and bass stuff. My tastes are very pedestrian. My favorite song, I don't even remember who did it. It was called I Remember. It had like a vocal track. Wow, 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 Remember how I was with you. That one. Remember how you pulled me through. I remember. I remember. I remember. Dead Mouse. Okay. Very pedestrian pick, right? But that would be like house music, right? Dead Mouse does like deep house or whatever, right? I also like I think it's a Dead Mouse song, Raise Your Weapon. How does it feel now to watch it burn, burn, burn? Like 9 Inch Nails was only awesome after the record label fixed them. Oh. METHOD, man. Hey, you, get off my cloud. You don't know me and you don't know my style. No, I don't have a Discord community. My friend TJ does. You can do discord.gg/TJ Hive, all one word. That's kind of like where the community conglomerates now, and I pop in there sometimes. I hate Snoop. He tried to be Snoop Lion. Now he quit weed. He didn't quit weed, bro. That was a joke. That was a meme. It was an advertisement for a smokeless grill. Snoop Dogg did not quit weed, bro. Newsflash. But yeah, the Snoop Lion thing was pretty fucking stupid. I'm glad he came back from that. You know what game I've been playing? Because I got it like on a deep discount during the summer sale, and I just never installed it. I installed it a couple of days ago because I was bored with Tekken 8 and Pal World. I usually hate these like survival games, but this one is fun. Like, I'm having fun with Pal World. My base is looking pretty sweet, and I just unlocked the ability to build a second base, which is neat. I like that. I like that. Yeah, dude, I've got some pretty cool little buddies that I bring with me. It's like Pokemon, the survival game, but you get to kill the Pokemans, which I like. You can butcher them. I was butchering a bunch of my shitty ones the other night. I made a butcher knife. And I'm just like, this one's got shit stats. I like it. I'm having fun with it. It's a cute little game. Pal World has the base inventory crafting that most of those games don't. That feature is amazing. Yeah. I like that. I don't have to go grab things, put it in my inventory to make a thing. Like if it's in my base, it's in a chest. It's good. Doesn't murdering Pokemon get old fast though? Well, If that's all it was, yeah, but it's like, you know, it's a survival game, so you're slowly but surely like expanding out. As you get farther out on the map, you get dungeons that have special Pokemans in them that you can only get in there. And then there are special like lucky Pokemans that you can find. Boo! And then as you go farther out into the world, they get bigger and badder, and you have to fight them and catch them. And yeah, so you know, it has a good loop or whatever they say. Isn't murdering Pokemon? Oh yeah, I said that. Did you ever go down to the dump as a kid to salvage stuff like electronics? I went to the dump, but only to help my family dump stuff. But every once in a while, I remember at the dump, we would see some shit. Like, I remember one time we saw, like, a washer, and my dad looked at it, and it just had a dent in it. He was like, dude, I'm going to fix this up and sell it. And so we like, dumped everything out of the bed of the F-150, and then just loaded that washer up in the back. And sure enough, like, he fucking serviced it and everything, and it worked. And he sold it for a couple $100. So, yeah, I know my parents definitely did the salvage thing. Yeah. Yeah, you were allowed to dump a truckload and take a truckload. It was pretty neat. Yeah, I haven't finished taking notes, dude. I'm doing what he asked me to do. I'm taking notes on every point that I find to be salient made, so that we can look at the tone of people throughout it. And I'm like 3 hours into the debate now. It's going to take me another fucking 2 weeks. And by that time, he's probably not even going to care to do it. But I told him I'd do it. I'm just not going to pretend like it's a college course or something and fucking spend 5 straight hours taking notes. Because I have to pause, take notes, pause, take notes. You know what I mean? It's just taking me fucking forever. But I'll do it. I'll get through it. I tried watching that debate. Oh my god, it's fucking so incredibly autistically academic, and it's just not content. It really isn't. I can see why the only thing of that debate that people watched was Finkelstein trolling Destiny, because I haven't gotten to that part yet, and like I said, I'm like 2.5 hours into the fucking debate at least. I haven't gotten to that part yet where he starts the Mr. Borelli, Mr. Tortellini, Mr. fucking whatever, right? I haven't even gotten to that yet, and I am just like, it is literally like the most boring fucking college lecture class that I've ever sat through. You played Baldur's Gate 3 at all? I played a little bit of it. I know that game is going to consume my life, so I've kind of like put it off. But I played like the first, I'd say 4 hours of it maybe when it first came out on the Steam Deck of all things, which is interesting. But now that I've got my new computer rig and everything, I probably will play it, but I just know it's going to suck my life out. And so I'm just trying to like let it fucking, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some like pretty cool expansions for it shit too. So in my mind, I'm like, I might as well wait for that cool shit to come out and then just play it all at once so I get it all out, you know? Watched both your debates with Destiny yesterday. I thought you held your own pretty well considering the situation. Yeah, they weren't debates, guys. Like, a debate has a moderator, a debate has agreed upon topics, a debate has time limits and blah, 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 blah. It was not a debate. I had a conversation. I don't think you can win or lose a conversation. But I've had a couple of conversations with Destiny. I hate like how everybody thinks that two people disagreeing having a conversation is a debate. Like, if both people agree it's a debate and they agree to a looser structure and they go, hey, would you debate me without a moderator if we agree on these positions and we agree to try and keep it to 2 minutes apiece, you know, in rebuttal time, and we don't interrupt each other? Yeah, I agree to that, but nothing like that happened between me and Destiny. It was just a conversation, and that was that. You know, it's not to say that I didn't have some moments in there where I looked kind of stupid. You know, it had been since my early 20s since I read Kant, and I could not for the life of me summon Kant's categorical imperative. Basically, a philosophically dense stand-in for objective morality. I just couldn't summon it, you know, and it looked pretty dumb. And Destiny speaks super fast, too. Like, what do you think about... I felt like I was bidding on a pig. I was like, oh, 25 now. But whatever, I look pretty stupid there, but it's a conversation. I said something stupid in a conversation. I got corrected. Cool. What else happened? You know? I don't know. I just have a very different way of looking at things because I've had these like contentious internet talks with people a billion fucking times, bro. I am no stranger to the internet like lynch mob that pops up and the people, you know, oh, you got fucking blah. Like it was a Wednesday to me, you know, an average Wednesday afternoon. I don't want to talk about Destiny's fucking Adderall stuff. If the guy's got ADHD, he should be medicated for it. It would help him. I hate it when people are honest about their mental health problems or their diagnoses or whatever, what they're taking for that. I always hate it when people like try and use it as a point against them. Like, don't do that, man. That's a fucked up thing to do. If the guy, as far as I know, the guy's talked about having pretty severe ADD, and if he's not medicated for that, that's not a good thing. Yeah, so you should never demean Destiny for having to medicate a mental health problem, because you may as well just say, well, that Paul's a depressive because I'm on medications for anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Oh, that everything that Paul says just filtered. He's on so much fucking antidepressive medication that he can't even fucking think straight. You know what I mean? He's barely functional because his brain is just so addled by all the drugs he has to take. Or even worse, like, oh, Paul's a pothead, so everything that comes out of his mouth is just complete bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you're gonna like attack Destiny for something, pick like a position that he's taken pretty unambiguously and craft an argument against that and pick on him for that and shit on him for that. Like that he deserves that, right? But like don't be a dick about it, like his mental health shit. Because I don't cotton to that shit over here. Some people overuse it, yeah, but you don't know that Destiny's a person that's overusing it. And that's what I'm saying, dude. Is like you could be like, oh, yeah, Paul's overusing his medications, Paul's overusing this, Paul's overusing weed, so that makes him, you know, his positions on things completely, utterly fucking dismissible. It's just not the way to go, bro. It's just not the way to go, homie. Don't have side arguments in my chat, please. I don't want to have to correct you guys. Well, you mentioned how fast talking he was, so I thought that might be related. See, that's your problem, right? I was just stating a fact. Destiny speaks incredibly fast. And you ran with it to make an Adderall joke. And I just don't think that's chill, dude. I don't think that's the way you ought to do. All right, flies. You fuckers. Let's do it. Come on. Yeah, gotcha. Snapped you, bitch. What else? Who else? Anybody else? You? Who's gonna get it? Who's coming through? Oh, you? All right, coming up. Fuckers. Got him. Anybody else? Come on. Come on, you little bastard. Fuck. Almost had that one. That's 2 down. It shows you're a noble man, Paul, for recognizing. I mean, I'm not trying to be noble. I have mental problems, and I share them with people. And I don't like it when people demean me for something that's out of my control, that I'm taking medication for under the advice of my doctor. I don't like it when people try and act like my positions don't mean anything, or my positions are shitty, or I'm abusing something because I'm, on this, that, or the other. I just don't think that's the way to beat somebody in an argument. Was there something about release of flies intentionally in some parts of California? I don't think so, but fuck. I hope not. Where'd that fucking thing go? God damn this motherfucker. Got him. Oh. All right, that felt great. That was a good zip zap. I'm gonna go do my stretches, and then we'll see how I feel after that. I think it's getting a little hot out here. Okay. Okay. Well, that's better. Oh. Oh, man. Feels great, but it's too fucking hot. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Bye.